in a very competitive OAC, I may add. Seeing Marietta already defeated defending OAC champion John Carroll. It's going to be one heck of a wild ride as these games come down to the wire. But the cancellations, of course, of their Florida tournament due to the COVID-19 pandemic also play a role in what's been going on with the schedule. But their last game was against Mount Union this past Wednesday. A big W, 70-57.
Yeah, and with COVID protocols, everything has been shaky. But one thing that hasn't been shaky is the consistency of this women's basketball team. They have at least 7 players, if you round up, that score around 5 points per game at least. Starting with their main star, Lily Edwards, with 17.5 points per game, 9.7 rebounds per game, shooting 80% from the free throw line and 50% from the field in total. A great leader for the team that BW has right now.
100% a great leader for the team. And as you look at Muskingum's schedule, they kind of started off hot as well. They won their first 4 games in a row, all of which were out of the conference against Steele, Bethany, West Virginia, Earlham, and Wittenberg. 96-62, 77-69, 100-67, and 76-72. Then they came off 2 losses to Oberlin and Kenyon, and they started the conference play losing to John Carroll and losing to Otterbein as well. And they recently lost to Marietta, 94-72 this past Wednesday. So a little bit of a shaky start, but they're still 7-5, and they're very much in the picture in this OAC, just like the Yellow Jackets are. The Yellow Jackets have won 8 games. The Muskingum Muskies have won 7. Although the losses are a little bit different. They've already lost to John Carroll and Marietta. BW has only played Marietta, and they defeated them 66-41. They have not played John Carroll yet. They are going to be playing them on Wednesday, January 19th. But a lot of heat going on between these 2 teams in the OAC right now.
Yeah, one of the big things to look at for Muskingum is their 2 leading scorers, which is Abby Jones and Taylor Decimo, which Abby Jones overall in the season is on 51% shooting, has averaged 13 points. But if you look at only conference play, she averages 15 points on 44% shooting, which it just looks like that when she plays against conference opponents, she turns her game up against a bit more, puts up more shots, and just scores more. Another player like that is Taylor Demasio, who she usually averages 12.6 points per game, but conference only she averages 14.4. So your 2 leading scorers have been scoring more against conference-only opponents, and what you said earlier, a very competitive OAC conference.
Very competitive this year. I'll tell you a little bit about the overall records and the conference records right now. BW is, of course, much ahead as they are undefeated in the conference. 8-2 overall. Marietta, 4-1 in the conference with that 1 loss to BW, but Marietta has a better overall record at 11-1. Of course, winning the conference is more important. We'll get to that later. John Carroll in the 3rd place right now, 4-1 in the conference. That loss to Marietta, they're 9-2 on the year. So they have 1 more win over BW as well, but the conference record still shows the Jackets ahead. In 4th place, Ohio Northern, 3-2 in the conference, 9-3 overall. So imagine that. First 4 teams have not lost more than 3 games. Then you look at Otterbein. They've also only lost 3 games at 9-3. They're 3-2 in the conference. Muskingum is 7-5 in 6th place, 2-3 in the conference. So the conference record's going to have to change for them. They're still 7-5, very much in it. You look at Wilmington is the 7th spot. They're 500 at 6-6, 2-3 in the conference as well. Muskingum and them, I don't believe, have played yet. That would be a tiebreaker game. Mount Union is in 8th place. If the tournament were to end today, those would be your first 8 seeds. They're 2-4 in the conference, 5-7 overall. They recently lost to the Yellow Jackets. Heidelberg 2-10 on the year, 1-4 in the conference. And Capital at a whopping 0-6 in the conference, with 3-11 overall. A lot of out-of-conference play has come into a factor, but the first 7 seeds, Matthias, all are above 500 or more.
Yeah,
that is really competitive for what we've seen in the OAC.
And even what you said, the 8th seed is even the 8th seed is 500. So
no, the 8th seed is below 500. But the first 7 are above.
Okay. Yeah. Mount Union being 500 in the OAC and still being 7th is something to say about. This is like the Eastern Conference in the NBA right now, where there's really good teams that are above 500, but just might barely make it, if not make it at all. That's just how tough the OAC is right now this year.
The OAC is definitely very tough, but the Yellow Jackets seem to have everything in their favor right now. They've already beaten Marietta, but they still have to play John Terrell. John Terrell only lost to Marietta by 1 point, and that game was also held in University Heights a few weeks ago. I believe on December 18th that game took place. We're taking a look before we start off with some other scores around the OAC and matchups that'll be happening later today. We'll head down to, of course, for this upcoming matchup, we're here at Earthstrom Gymnasium. Yellow Jackets taking on the Muskingum Muskies. But also take a look here, Otterbein playing Heidelberg today at 2 o'clock. We also have John Terrell playing Ohio Northern. They're starting off very shortly as well. Wilmington and Marietta. Capital and Mount Union had a COVID situation. Mount Union takes the win there, 2-0. Of course, the COVID-19 pandemic may play a little bit of a factor as well, because if you have to forfeit a game, it counts as a 2-0 loss, unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately, but fortunately at the same time, this year is going down to which team is not only the best, but the most disciplined. As long as you do stay safe and follow protocols, your team should not be taken out your team should not be forfeiting games because of COVID.
That's the one thing you also have to watch out for in the conference. I think COVID may be one of the big opponents if a 2-0 forfeit does take place. But other than that, the Yellow Jackets are in prime position, staying healthy, staying undefeated in the conference. Their only 2 losses on the year come out of the conference against Trine, 64-45, and against Hope, 83-55. 2 blowout losses. Hope ranked number 1 in the country. Trine is also now in the rankings. I believe they're at 24 or 25. That might not be a great sign for the Yellow Jackets, but all you got to do is win the conference and stay undefeated in that. And looking at the schedule the rest of January, you play at home against Ohio Northern this Wednesday, then you go to Capital next Saturday, and then at John Terrell Wednesday, January 19th. It is going to definitely go down to the wire in this OAC this year.
Yeah, especially with how these teams have been playing. Once again, 7 teams above 500 or 500 or more, and that just means that every team is going to be competitive. So every team just got to watch their best. You can't catch slipping. You can't think that there's just going to be an easy game on the schedule just because you're ranked higher than them, because all these teams have been doing good this year.
Once again, I'll mention, while their overall records, 7 of them are above 500, it is important to emphasize conference records is what comes first in the OAC. And right now, we look at the standings. Muskingum and below at the 6th spot, 2 and 3 to 1 and 4 to 0 and 6 down. So, and of course, Capital with the COVID bug, that might not have necessarily been a favor for Capital as well, seeing their forfeit against Mount Union. But BW, of course, 5 and 0 in the conference. So while the conference records may go below 500, the overall records certainly aren't. And Muskingum, while 2 and 3 in the conference, is still 7 and 5 overall. But in the conference records is what counts the most in the OAC, if these teams can keep it up.
Yeah. Just like what you said, Muskingum in the conference, they are 2 and 3, but their overall record is 7 and 5. So the conference record doesn't say the full story.
Absolutely. But the conference record, of course, is more important when it comes to tournament time later this year.
Of course. But one thing to bring into this pregame is that Muskingum at home they're 6 and 1, but away they're 1 and 4. So they do not have a good winning record when they're not at home. Let's see if that could play into a factor today against our BW Yellow Jackets.
Absolutely, indeed. It's the Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jackets game 1. We start with the women's matchup between the Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jackets and the Muskingum Muskies. We're going to take a quick break. When we get back here in about 2 minutes, we'll have coverage of your Yellow Jacket women's basketball team versus the Muskingum Muskies. Here on 88.3 FM, The Sting, WBWC.com, and WBWC on the TuneIn app.
Your daughter doesn't want to talk about why her room is a horrible mess. Your son doesn't want to talk about why he's wearing mismatching socks. Your spouse doesn't want to talk about their bad haircut. Families don't have to talk about everything, but they should talk to plan for an emergency. Pack basic supplies in a go bag: water, canned food, flashlights, batteries, medical supplies, IDs, and some cash. Talk about where you'll meet in case you lose one another. And of course, don't forget to pack the dog treats. Talk to your family and make an emergency plan. go to nyc.gov/readyny or call 311 to make your family's emergency plan. Brought to you by New York City Emergency Management and the Ad Council.
Hi there, Todd Richards here from WBWC's Running Late.
Hi, this is Cindy Lauper on Running Late.
Hey, what's up? This is Zach Walter from the band Live.
Hi, this is John Mayer.
Hi, this is Edwin McCain.
Hi, this is Maria McKee. Hey there, I'm Sarah McLaughlin.
Hi, this is Ivan Neville. Hi, this is Charles Neville of the Neville Brothers.
Hi, this is Joan Osborne, and you're listening to Running Late.
This is Tony Lewis from the Outfield.
Hi, this is Madeline Peru.
Hi, this is Jim Carrey, Simple Minds on Running Late.
Great interviews, music news, and so much more. It's Running Late every Saturday night on 88.3 FM, The Sting.
This is 88.3 The Sting, Cleveland's modern rock alternative. We're one of the only college radio stations with a format. We handpick alternative and modern rock hits right off the top of the charts and play them for you, as well as some of the best hits from the past. Listen for local artists all across Ohio, as well as our music stingers, where you get to control the playlist. We feature over 14 specialty shows, as well as 12 other educational programs. But at the end of the day, it will always come back to the rock and alternative on 88.3. Thank you for listening. Whether it's the environment, health, our children, politics, or the arts, there's a woman's perspective, and 51% is a show dedicated to that viewpoint. In America, women make up more than half the population. Worldwide, women are expected to outnumber men within the next 50 years, and every issue we face is one that affects us all. 51% airs Friday morning at 9 a.m. and Sunday at 6 a.m. here on 88.3 The Sting.
WBWC, Berea.
It's Yellow Jackets basketball here on 88.3 FM The Sting. Just shy of tip-off, let's send it down to the WBWC sports team with all the in-game action.
You're listening to Yellow Jacket basketball on 88.3 FM, the Sting doubleheader this afternoon. We start with the women's matchup between the Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jackets and Muskingum Muskies. It's Andrew Hody with Matthias Andahar here at Ersprung Gymnasium at 88.3 FM, the Sting. They're just dimming the lights. They're about to do the player introduction. We are really pumped here on WBWC Berea for the upcoming game between the Yellow Jackets and Muskies. Matthias, a lot of hope going into this one for the Jackets. They need to keep up their streak of the OAC. The Muskies are also trying to stay above 500. If a loss comes here, they go down to 7-6.
Yeah, no, along with that in conference that we talked about in pregame, they would go down to 2-4. So very unfortunate for Muskingum if they lose this game. And while they're saying introduction, for BW, this game will just keep them. They will keep them at 9-2, and most importantly, it will keep them as the number 1 seed in that conference, in the OAC conference, which for playoff time is definitely something to aspire for.
Big time something to aspire for. The OAC conference this year really looks like it's wide open. John Carroll winning it last year. The Yellow Jackets trying to take it back like they did the year before that. A lot here at stake for the Yellow Jackets as they're just getting ready to warm up here. About 27 seconds left to tip off. The lights are dimmed and everything is ready to go. The feeling here at Ersprung Gymnasium is still high. It's not the same with the student section and everything, and the band's not here playing music like traditional, but it's still got a lot of energy. The parents are here, the siblings are here. It is going to be a wild show here today for both games.
As somebody who used to play, well, it was in middle school, but still play sports, sometimes you only need the parents to get in your ear or to rally you up. Sometimes the parents are your biggest fans, and if only parents are allowed, then so be it. We're still going to be here. We're still going to call the games, and they're definitely still going to play them.
Absolutely so. Another thing to mention, too, about the Yellow Jackets right now is that they have played terrific at home. They're undefeated at home, and the Muskingum Muskies have not been well on the road. They've lost 4 of their 5 games on the road. As we get things going, tip-off has begun. Lily Edwards has the basketball inside the paint. A foul is called, or no, a travel. A travel is called against Lily Edwards, so that'll go back to the Muskies to start things off. 9:49 in the first quarter of play here at Ersprung Gymnasium.
Yeah, quick hands by Muskingum to make it Lily Edwards go in that situation where she had to travel the ball. Let's see what they could do on defense now.
Another thing to mention is the Muskingum roster is, maybe this is due to the COVID-19 situation, but they have a much smaller roster compared to BW today. as a shot was taken by number 22 as Muskingum got the ball on the turnover. Taylor DeMassimo for 3. She gets it. It's going to be a 3-0 Muskingum lead to start things off here in Berea. All right, with the basketball now is Reagan Schill for the Yellow Jackets on the other end. She's going to take a shot blocked early by Kenzie Bicking, and Bicking is going to take it the other way. She's going to pass this over to Worth. Worth fakes a 3. She's going to pass it deep, and nice coverage there by number 23 for the Yellow Jackets, Megan Hensel, but it's going to go out of bounds. No, excuse me, that's number 32.
Number 32, Lily Edwards.
Lily Edwards with the tip there, excuse me. As Scheibelhut gets the steal, it's going the other way. For the basketball now is Megan Hensel. She'll pass this over to number 13.
Reagan Schill with the open 3. Unfortunately, that did not go in. It rolled out of bounds, and now it is Muskingum's ball. Really defensive start for both of these teams so far. 8 minutes and 47 seconds left, and it's only a 3-0 game.
3-0, Muskingum with the lead. With the basketball now is Casey Smith, and I believe a foul has been called against the Yellow Jackets. So the Muskies will inbound the basketball.
Yeah, still. And now they're making an early substitution. Lily Edwards is subbed out early for Kaylee Ressler. Which is a really early substitution for BW's star player.
Inbound taking place. Hal Moorhead passes this over from Muskingum to Massimo, and the basketball does not get in. It'll be taken away again by Scheibelhut the other direction. 8:22 to go. Reagan Schill with the basketball. She'll pass this to Scheibelhut. Then Megan Hensel with the basketball on the left wing. Long pass to Scheibelhut. She fakes the 3. She'll pass this over to Izzy Andrews. Andrews back to Scheibelhut. Scheibelhut inside the paint. Fakes a long 2, then pass it back to Andrews. Then into the corner. She'll pass this over again, and Scheibelhut will take a shot. No good. But a rebound is taken back, and Andrews has the basketball. Hensel will pass it back for the Yellow Jackets. Andrews for 3. No good. But Scheibelhut on the rebound, and looks like they're going to mark it out of bounds, but I can't tell.
It looked like it was a push by number 22, Taylor DeMassimo.
Taylor DeMassimo with a push, so it will remain a Yellow Jacket basketball.
Yeah, the Muskies were playing really good rotational defense, even though BW was passing a lot and making good passes, they still rotated and made sure that nobody was open.
Hensel with the basketball. She'll pass this over to Andrews. Andrews will pass this back over to number 13, Sadie Wren. And then she'll pass it to Hensel for 3, and it's off the backboard, no good. Goes the other direction. Getting the rebound is Casey Smith the other way. She'll pass this to DeMassimo, and DeMassimo off the backboard. 7:16 to go here in the first quarter. Andrews the other direction. She's going to pass this over to Ressler. Ressler in the paint, passing it to Andrews, then to Scheibelhut, then to Hensel. Hensel trying to find someone open. She finds Andrews, and Andrews gets the first bucket of the day for the Yellow Jackets with exactly 7 minutes to go. It's 3-2 in the first quarter. Muskingum with a 1-point lead.
That was a great give and go. Edwards set a screen for, Andrews set a screen for Scheibelhut and then just cut in, and there was just nowhere else for her to go except to the basket. Got a good open shot and went in.
Kenzie Bicking forces the ball out of bounds. And so that'll be a Yellow Jacket basketball on another turnover. Turnovers have been a common sight here to start things off in the first quarter. As Lily Edwards inbounds this to Izzy Andrews.
Yeah, both teams have definitely been.
To Lyon.
Both teams have been playing very aggressive defense.
Lily Edwards back in the game. She's going to take a shot off the backboard. I believe they called for a foul, so I believe Lily Edwards will be shooting 2.
They called a shooting foul on number 25, Bailey Bishop. Even though, at least from my point of view, she looked like she had her hands up, but as a BW fan, I will definitely take the call.
Lily Edwards from Dublin. She's a senior, 5'10".
She's also very efficient at the free throw line as she made that first one. She is averaging around, she is 80% from the line this year.
The second free throw underway is good as well. The Yellow Jackets take the first lead of the game, 4-3. 6:25 to go in the first quarter. Kenzie Ficking with the basketball. She'll pass this over to Casey Smith. Smith trying to find someone open. She finds Moorhead, and it looks like a foul is called, offensive foul on Moorhead. Alan Moorhead turns the ball over.
Yeah, both of these teams have been very aggressive on both sides of the ball, even though it is a low-scoring game so far. But you gotta respect that hustle on both sides. Defense is leading to offense, and most of their offenses have been being stopped by each other's defense.
Ryan to the basket, and she's got it. 6-3, the Yellow Jackets take the lead, and I think the Muskies already call a timeout. With 5:58 to go, the score, Baldwin Wallace 6, Muskingum 3, a change of events. We're going to take a timeout as well. For Matthias Andahar, I'm Andrew Hody. It's Yellow Jacket basketball on 88.3 FM, WBWC.com, and WBWC on the TuneIn app. All right, you're listening to Yellow Jacket basketball on 88.3 FM, the Sting, WBWC.com, and WBWC on the TuneIn app. With the basketball now is Lily Edwards as it heads the other way. And she'll pass this over to number 2. That's
Carolyn Woefully.
Carolyn Rochelle with the pass. As it'll be incomplete, I'll go back to Muskingum. And it's stolen away by Lily Edwards. Edwards the other way to the basket. It's good. An 8-0 run by the Yellow Jackets. And the score is 8-3, the Yellow Jackets over the Muskies.
Yeah, like I said earlier, defense has been leading to offense. Earlier on in this game, both defenses have been stopping each other, but BW's offense is finally taking a turn, and that's because of their defense earlier in the game.
It looks like another foul was called. Sylvie Sonneman called for the foul for the Yellow Jackets. And that will go back to the Muskies again. They'll keep the ball on their side of the court. It seems like the Muskies are just not taking advantage of the opportunities that they've been given today by the Yellow Jackets. The Yellow Jackets on offense didn't start off as quickly as they usually do.
Yeah, and on top of that, just both defenses have been playing great, like I said. It's just which offense is finally going to start clicking is what's going to change the game. DeMassimo, called for a foul there. She'll have to inbound this one as well. Yeah, they called a foul on number 2 from BW, Emily Lyon.
Emily Lyon called for the foul. And this will be inbounded by number 32 for Muskingum. Or 22, Taylor DeMassimo. Massimo will pass this over to Leah Smith, who gets a bucket. And then I'll cut it down to a 3-point game. It's 8-5. Yellow Jackets still ahead. Yeah, Michelle with the basketball. She throws a deep pass. It'll be caught by number 13, Reagan Schill. Schill will pass this over to Michelle. Michelle is called for a charge. And then I'll head back the other direction for the Muskies.
Yep, like you said earlier, both teams have not been starting on offense like you wanted to, but it's still a close game. You got to be at least happy for a close game that you're not being blown out if you're either team at this point.
As a 3-shot is taken by number 1, Hal Moorhead, and it looks like it's an offensive foul again.
I think they called that her foot was out of bounds.
Looks like they did, as the Yellow Jackets will inbound this one.
Another turnover, by the way.
Yes, both teams have turned the ball over numerous times. It's still an 8-5 ball game. Michelle with the basketball, trying to find someone open. She'll pass it over to number 23, Megan Hensel. And she'll pass it to Reagan Schill inside the paint. It's no good. And it heads the other way. Rebounded by Moorhead. Moorhead will pass this over to Picking. Passing it around. Good ball movement for the Muskies as Moorhead has it. Moorhead inside the paint. She'll pass this over to DeMassimo. DeMassimo takes a shot No good. Rebounded by Megan Hensel the other direction. And the Yellow Jackets back in control as Reagan Shield goes for three. Drain. 11-5. Yellow Jackets take a 6-point lead. 2 field goals there. 3:03 to go.
Yeah, she made up for that missed layup the play before. She got the open three. She took it and she made it.
And an open three made by open three missed by Taylor DeMassimo. And it'll head the other way as Carolyn Wachell takes a shot. That's no good. Then it'll head the other way again to the Muskies. As Moorhead has it. Hallie Moorhead will pass this over to DeMassimo. DeMassimo takes a three. It's no good. And it'll go the other direction to Megan Hensel. Hensel to Wachell. Wachell trying to find someone open. She'll pass this over again to Wachell from Kyra Philpott. Wachell again. On the left wing of the basketball court at the arc. She'll go inside the paint, and she'll do a long pass over to, I believe that is number...
That was Kaylee Ressler, number 25.
Kaylee Ressler, number 25, who takes a three. It's no good. And another shot taken by Hallie Moorhead, and it looks like a foul is called. Again, against the Yellow Jackets. It's 11-5, 1:56 to go in the first quarter.
Yeah, with a minute 56 left, the score is only 11-5. So both teams are. Muskingum is still in it, with this game being as close as it is. Or this has just turned into a defensive battle overall. It's just which team could capitalize on the other team's mistakes first is going to give the secure lead to that team, as that's a missed free throw by Moorhead.
Hallie Moorhead's at the free throw line, 5'7" from Deerfield, Ohio. She's the guard. She misses her first free throw, and she makes her second. That's going to make the score 11-6. BW, not Muskingum, 11-6. The Yellow Jackets up front with 1:56 to go in the first quarter. We know how difficult it is to stop the Yellow Jackets as well once they have the lead.
Yeah, once BW has momentum, they have been nigh unstoppable this year, as explains their 8-2 record. And it looks like they're just continuing it today in this game.
Ball movement now on the Jackets side. Megan Hensel will take a three. Rebounded by Scheibel Hutt, who gets it in. 13-6. It's a touchdown lead for the Yellow Jackets. 1:28 to go in the first quarter.
And that rebound looked like a touchdown pass by Scheibel Hutt. Had both her hands up, did a little bit of a jump, and secured the rebound.
Bishop for Muskingum will pass this over to DeMassimo, and DeMassimo can't get it again, and so we'll go back to the Yellow Jackets with 1:04 on the clock. Ressler passes this inside to Lyon. Lyon takes a shot. Good. 15-8. Baldwin Wallace. 7-point lead again.
And here we go.
Looks like they did make that last shot. It was hard to tell from my angle, but yes, they did get it in, the Muskingum Muskies. That explains the 7-point difference yet again.
And here we go. BW's offense is finally starting to kick in. After a very slow start, they've made a lot of baskets in just this past couple minutes, and now they have another opportunity to as well.
Bailey Bishop misses a field goal to make it, to keep it 15-8 the other side now for the Yellow Jackets, as Megan Hensel has it. No, excuse me, Izzy Andrews. No, that was Scheibel Hutt. Well, Scheibel Hutt with the basketball inside the paint, and looks like she's trying to argue that it's a case that it's a Baldwin Wallace basketball.
And I think they give it to Yellow Jackets after the refs talked it out.
It looked like it went out of bounds on the Muskies. Taylor DeMassimo, I believe, was the last one to touch it. And so now the basketball will be inbounded by Izzy Andrews. 19.7 to go in the first quarter. The score 15-8. Edwards. Are they calling a foul, or?
I think they called a defensive foul, but since it was on the ground, she wouldn't be able to take the shot up. She would just have these two free throws instead. Which this is the Muskies' fourth foul already, fourth team foul, which will send Lily Edwards to the line.
Lily Edwards heads to the line from Dublin, Ohio, 5'10". She's a senior this year. and a terrific season for her as well. She has over 1,000 points, and she met that mark versus Otterbein a few weeks ago.
Yeah, but unfortunately she missed her first free throw. Her second free throw was also a miss, but a rebound for BW.
Yellow Jackets get the rebound back. Lily Edwards typically is great from the free throw line. 2 rare misses there in that instance. As the basketball goes out of bounds, and the Muskingum Muskies will inbound this one back. Leah Smith to inbound this one to Casey Smith. No, excuse me, Callie Moorhead. Moorhead with the basketball at the arc for Muskingum. 6 seconds on the clock. She'll pass it to Smith. Inside, yes. As the clock expires, the score is Baldwin Wallace 15, Muskingum 10. And that's going to lead us to our first quarter break. Matthias Andujar's with me. I'm Andrew Hody. You're listening to Yellow Jacket Basketball on 88.3 FM, The Sting, WBWC.com, and WBWC on the TuneIn app.
The Rick O'Banion Experience, Saturday evenings from 7 to 9 p.m. here on The Sting. The Rick O'Banion Experience is a theme-based show. It's all about the music, from Bauhaus to Crowded House, from Bare Naked Ladies to Men Without Hats, from Van Gogh's Daughter to the Sons of Elvis, from ABC to XTC, from 7 Mary 3 to 311 to L7. The Rick O'Banion Experience, Saturdays at 7 on 88.3 FM, WBWC.com. From the Psychedelic Furs to the Plain White Tees.
Listen every even hour for our new music stingers. This is your opportunity to control the 88.3 playlist. After listening to the song, log onto your computer, phone, or tablet, but not while you're driving. You can vote on our Facebook or Twitter pages, as well as our website. Can't make up your mind? You can vote for as many stingers as you want, whenever you want. It's up to you when it comes to our new music stingers, only here on 88.3 The Sting. Holla!
You're listening to Yellow Jacket Basketball on 88.3 FM, The Sting, and they're getting the crowd hyped up with a little bit of Jackson 5 playing, I Want You Back.
With a lot of turnovers that both teams have committed, they really want the ball back as well.
And you know what? Another thing is, they want that OAC championship back here at BW. Not at John Carroll again as we return you to the second quarter. 15-10, the Yellow Jackets lead. Muskingum after a 3 shots taken by Kenzie Bicking. It's no good. It'll go the other way. 9:46, 15-10, Baldwin Wallace. In what has been a close game, Muskingum started off with a 3-0 lead, but it's been all BW since. Megan Hensel with the basketball. She'll pass this over to number 5, Emily Irwin, who checks into the game for the first time today for the Jackets. Lily Edwards.
That ball was tipped by Casey Smith.
Casey Smith did tip it, though, and that'll benefit the Jackets. Good defense on behalf of Casey Smith from Muskingum. Give her credit there, but Lily Edwards almost able to bring that back in down. Doesn't matter. It'll still remain a Yellow Jackets basketball. Megan Hensel passes this to Irwin. Irwin passes to Wrestler. Wrestler to Irwin for 3. Bounces off the rim and out as the shot clock expires. But the Jackets get the rebound. An impressive rebound there as Emily Lyon will take this inside the paint for 2. 17-10, it's a touchdown lead for the Yellow Jackets as we head the other way for the Muskies.
Yeah, and once again, BW the start of last quarter or nearing the end of last quarter and the start of this quarter have been doing a lot of good ball movement, which has making them score more points. They didn't have that earlier in the first quarter. That was when they were on that drought of not scoring, but now here they are, and now they have a 7-point lead, like you said.
17-10, 7-point lead for the Yellow Jackets. So I like to say a touchdown, as now number 22 with the basketball, Taylor DeMassimo, and I believe she's called for the offensive foul or the tip ball.
Stopped out of bounds. Yeah, there's been a lot of turnovers, and some of them have just been that players just don't know where they are on the court. That's probably why Muskingum has a record of 1-4 on the road. They're not used to playing on the road. They're used to their home court, and they just sometimes get lost.
Lily Edwards for the bucket, 19-10. That's going to increase the lead to 9 for the Yellow Jackets with 8:27 to go. Second quarter. With the basketball now for Muskingum is Leah Smith. She'll pass this Allie Moorhead, and a blocked shot there, or looks like it was a blocked shot there. Nice play by number 25, Haley Ressler, who makes a nice stop for the Yellow Jackets. Although either way the ball's out of bounds, it'll remain with Muskingum.
Yeah, that was a great block. It looked like Moorhead had an open layup, but Ressler came in to block the underhanded layup, and now they only have 8 seconds left on the shot clock to score.
Taylor DeMassimo inside the paint. Passed it to Hallie Moorhead, who takes a shot, and it rolls in right at the shot clock. A standing ovation. It looks like Muskingum fans were just happy and now angry as it's not called. It was after the clock expired.
No, it looked like an and one call because the layup went in, but then they called it a charge with Emily Irwin taking the charge for BW, so that was a turnover for Muskingum.
Irwin with the basketball will take a shot for three, no good for the Yellow Jackets as it goes out of bounds. I think it still remains with the Jackets. Nope. Looks like no, it will go with Muskingum. Looks like there was some celebration there for a minute on the Yellow Jackets side, but no reason for it as it'll go to Muskingum.
Well, the celebration there was that their team is playing great defense right now, holding their opponent to 10 with 7 minutes and 32 seconds left of the second quarter. Really impressive.
Oh wow, a nice steal there, but I believe they called it for a foul, almost a steal, I should say, on behalf of.
Yeah, they called it a reach-in foul, but once again, that's another time of you'll take that foul because that's your team hustling for those defensive plays.
Reagan Show almost had the steal there for the Yellow Jackets, but it's going to be a Muskingum ball regardless. Inbounding it will be number 5, Casey Smith. She'll inbound this one to Hallie Moorhead. Moorhead will go to the left wing. She'll pass it over to DeMassimo. DeMassimo over to Smith. Smith inside the paint. She took a shot, but I believe another foul was called. It looks like some substitutions are going to be made on behalf of the Jackets. Megan Hensel's going to check in for number 34, Sylvie Soneman.
Yeah, usually I could see the fouls, but that one I just couldn't see where they called the foul. I want to say that it was a reach-in against Soneman, but if it was, that was a little bit of a ticky-tacky call.
Casey Smith passes this to Dickin inside the paint, and blocked out of bounds by Megan Hensel. That was an awesome block, but it did go out of bounds, so it will remain with Muskingum. We've seen a lot of those blocked shots still go the other team's way, at least with the possession.
Yeah, not only with blocked shots, but with tip passes, steal attempts, the ball just goes out of bounds. It's just been a lot of crazy basketball today.
Taylor DeMassimo heads to the basket for an air ball, and Lily Edwards will take it the other way for the Jackets at the arc. Edwards, deep pass to Megan Hensel, who almost gets it in, but I believe it didn't go in, but I believe it's still going to go for the Muskies after a foul was called on offense for the Yellow Jackets.
Yeah, I think they called an over-the-back foul on Casey Ressler as they're subbing her out right now. BW has been going to their bench quick, often, and in a hurry, just making sure that if you're on the roster, that they're playing today.
19-10. 6:37 to go in the second quarter. The Yellow Jackets lead by 9 after Emily Lyon almost blocks a shot there from number 1, Hallie Moorhead, but it turns out to be just a pass as a shot is taken by Casey Smith, and it's no good. It's going to go the other way again for Izzy Andrews to take over for the Yellow Jackets, and she'll pass this to Megan Hensel. Hensel trying to find someone open. She finds Wichelle. Wichelle back to Izzy Andrews. Andrews trying to find another opening, and she'll pass it over to Scheibelhut. Scheibelhut over to Wichelle. Wichelle at the arc. She'll take it inside to the paint. To Hensel for 3 off the backboard. So close. 5:53 to go. 19-10. Yellow Jackets still lead after a charge is called on number 5, Casey Smith. What a charge that was.
Yeah, that was smart thinking by Izzy Andrews. She stood tall, put her hands up, and she didn't move her feet and that's exactly what you need for a charge. And she might have done a little bit of acting to hold it as well. But either way, that was definitely just contact and a great hustle for your team to get the ball back.
Izzy Andrews with the basketball. She'll pass this over to Hensel. Hensel to Rochelle for three. No good. As Scheibelhut blocks it out of bounds. Well, tipped it out of bounds, I should say. She tried to bring it back in as Muskingum gets the basketball back. Still 19-10. It's been 19-10 for about 2.5 minutes now.
Yeah, after that hot start for BW, not a lot of scoring or not any scoring for either team so far.
Muskingum has yet to score in the second quarter, believe it or not. BW has only 4 points in the second quarter, and we're almost halfway through it. And correction. Correction. Muskingum just scored. That is number 2, I believe, with the play there. Kenzie Picking, who makes it in 19-12. And there's going to be now 5:02 to go in the second quarter. Yellow Jackets by 7. And here's another turnover. Number 25 gets it for Muskingum, Bailey Bishop. Bishop will pass this over to Moorhead, and Moorhead turns it over. Rochelle gets it for Scheibelhut, wide open down the court, and it almost goes in, but off the rim. Another turnover. It goes for Muskingum. Number 2, Kenzie Picking with the basketball. She'll pass this over to Hallie Moorhead. Moorhead back over to Smith. Smith then back to Moorhead. Moorhead, long pass over to Picking. Picking inside the paint. She takes it and makes it. 4 points to even out the second quarter score and cut it back down to 5, 19-14. A lot of defense here in this game. Scheibelhut with the basketball at the right wing of the basketball court. She'll pass this to Izzy Andrews to Megan Hensel. Megan Hensel takes a shot and it's good inside. That makes it 21-14. A football score there as well. 7 points, 21-14. 4:06 to go. With the basketball now is Kenzie Picking. She'll pass this over once again to number 22, Taylor DeMassimo, who goes for 3. It's no good. Scheibelhut rebound to Megan Hensel on the left wing. She's trying to find someone open. She finds Carolyn Wischel. Wischel now at the arc, trying to find someone open to Hensel, and a foul is called against Muskingum. Free throws may be on the way for the Jackets.
I think BW has finally found something that they like. They kept on going to Hensel versus Taylor DeMassimo, and that's how they got their first bucket after that drought. And now BW with a quick substitution. It looks like whoever
4 players have substituted out.
Yeah, it looks like whoever.
Izzy Andrews the only one staying in.
Yeah, it looks like whoever DeMassimo is guarding, they're trying to target.
With the basketball is Lily Edwards, who checks back in off the bench, and then she takes a shot, no good. It'll go the other way. An interesting substitution decision, I'll say there, to substitute 4 players when you're about to inbound the ball back. It seems like you might have drifted away some of that momentum. Nevertheless, it's 21-14. The Jackets still up 7. And deep pass there to number 5, Casey Smith from Muskingum. She'll go inside the paint, trying to find someone open. She'll find Hallie Moorhead. Moorhead at the arc. Moorhead back over to Smith. Smith will take it inside the paint to the basket. She's got it and one to make it 21-16. And an opportunity for a 3-point play. Casey Smith, the guard, 5'4" from Woodmere, Ohio.
Yeah, and once again, it's making this a close game. After that 9-point lead for BW, Muskingum has been cutting into it, and now they have a chance to make it a less than 5-point game.
And the free throw is a miss. It'll keep it at 5. 21-16. 3:05 to go in the second quarter. Edwards passing it over to herself again. Now she has it after a big-time pass there to number 25, Kaylee Retzler, who passed it back to her, and she gets the bucket, 23-16, back to 7 points. Kenzie Picking for 3, and what a play that was to cut the score down to 4, 23-19. That 3 couldn't have been better, as it was a splash. 2:34 to go here in the second quarter, 23-19. Edwards to the basket. That's an answer, 25-19 to cut the score to 6.
But now both offenses are taking charge instead of defense. That 3 by Kenzie Picking was a long one and was one that was trying to give Muskingum momentum BW comes right down the court and scores again to try to take control once again while they have the lead. Now
Speaking of offensive explosion in the last 3 minutes, at the 5-minute mark, the score was 4-2 in the second quarter. Yellow Jackets leading, and now the Yellow Jackets have scored 10, and Muskingum has scored 9 in the second quarter.
Yeah, once again, it's a close game. It's a close game. Neither team are figuring out how to score, but when they do finally figure out how to score, both teams put points on the board real quick.
Kenzie Bicking heads to the line for the first time today. She's a freshman guard, 5'8", from Dublin, Ohio. She actually went to the same school as Lily Edwards. Maybe there's a connection there.
Maybe. They've been playing really good defense on Edwards so far this game.
Yes, they have been, as Emily Lyon heads to the basket. And she gets it, 27-21. 27-21, a 6-point game. Leah Smith with the basketball now for Muskingum. She'll pass this to Moorhead. Moorhead inside the... Oh, wow, off the rim, no good.
Yeah, things like that hasn't happened that much this quarter, but in the first quarter, there are a lot of times that the players would make good moves, and then when it comes to taking the shot, they would just miss it.
Murray with a shot there. She'll pass this to Irwin. Irwin. He passed to Philpott. Philpott inside the paint. Can she get it? No, off the rim. She almost gets her own rebound. And it looks like they're calling a foul. I'm not sure what that call was there.
I think it's on the Muskie that BW still has the ball right now.
BW does still have the ball. 1:13 to go here in the second quarter. The score 27-21. Inbounding this one will be Emily Irwin. Irwin inbounds this to Lily Edwards. Edwards inside the paint, back to Irwin. Irwin looks like she was going to go for three, but doesn't. Pass it back to Edwards inside the paint. Edwards takes a shot, and it looks like they're calling a travel. That'll go against the Jackets.
Yeah, Edwards took a step. Looked like she was going to shoot, but the defender had her hand up, was about to block it, so she didn't even, I wouldn't say didn't even try, but didn't even bother trying to put up a shot that was going to be blocked anyways.
We're under less than a minute now, 27-21. Baldwin Wallace over Muskingum. I believe there was a dispute on the court. I think it's out of bounds, though.
He called a offensive foul?
No, it looks like it's a defensive foul because we got free throws coming underway for Hallie Moorhead.
This game has been being called very aggressively by these refs so far. A lot of foul calls for both teams.
Other thing to mention here is a difference in coaching here. Erin Eaton in her third season for Muskingum. Coach Sherry Hare, this is their 32nd season, so there may be a coaching mismatch as Hallie Moorhead's back at the free throw line. Freshman guard, 5'7" from Deerfield, Ohio. Makes the first free throw, and she makes the second as it's 27-23.
Now only a 4-point game.
Irwin with the basketball. She'll pass this over to Megan Hensel. Hensel. Irwin over to Lily Edwards. Edwards inside the paint. She takes a shot, and a foul is called against Muskingum. I believe that means Lily Edwards will have some free throws.
Yeah, they call the foul on Bailey Bishop. Even though she was being guarded by Sarah Miller, maybe Bailey Bishop tried to go in for the swat on the shot and got her arm.
Lily Edwards heads to the line now. Of course, she's a senior forward, 5'10" from Dublin, Ohio.
She made 2 free throws earlier, but missed her next 2. Let's see what she'll do on this one.
27-23, and a chance to extend it, another miss. Not like Lily Edwards to miss 3 free throws in a game.
Yeah, she's 80% on the season. Right, she's 80% on the season coming into this game, but now she's below 50, missing. I mean, she's 2 of 5 for the line. Now 3 of 6.
3 of 6 at 50% for today, 80% on the season. 28-23, Lily Edwards does check out. Checking in is Megan Scheibelhut. As now we'll go the other way for the Muskingum Muskies. Starting off with the basketball is Hallie Moorhead. Moorhead. The pass is over to Leah Smith. Smith back to Moorhead. Moorhead inside the paint. Now outside the arc. 16 seconds to go in the second quarter. A 5-point deficit. She'll hand this off to Leah Smith. Leah Smith inside the paint and another foul call. But it looks like a travel. No, it's going to be a travel. And so that'll benefit the Jackets. And Megan Scheibelhut will inbound this to Emily Irwin, and we'll get things going with 11.4 seconds left in the second quarter.
Yeah, this is a coach's decision because maybe she believes that Emily Irwin is faster than Andrews, as he only has 7 seconds left to score right now in this half.
3 seconds, 2 seconds for Irwin to take a three. Will it make it? Yes! And that is a buzzer beater if it was the fourth quarter, but that is one way to end the second quarter with a splash. 31-23, ending off with a big play from Emily Irwin as halftime begins. Before we send it back to John Basala in studio with our halftime report, Matthias, 31-23. The Muskingum Muskies are down to the wire on their roster. They do not have as many players as the Jackets even do today. We don't know if that's for COVID protocols or if that's just the roster situation right now. But the fact that they've made this an 8-point game and they're still 7-5 on the season says how well they're playing against the Jackets. Although the Jackets still have that 8-point lead, and that's what's going to favor them.
Yeah, this team has been fighting hard all game. The Muskies have. They have. Other than that three, they have been cutting to the 4.5 point range of keeping this game really close, and then Emily Irwin just with the momentum changer. That last second three is really going to come to bite the Muskies for their defense because they've been leaving BW open. They just haven't been capitalizing. But when the Muskies have been playing good defense, their defense has been amazing.
Absolutely, as that's going to wrap up first half coverage of the game. Stay tuned for John Basala with your halftime report, and we'll be back here in just a couple of minutes. It's halftime. The score, Baldwin Wallace 31, Muskingum 23. For Matthias Andahar, I'm Andrew Hody on 88.3 FM. The Sting, WBWC.com, and WBWC on the TuneIn app.
From Prozac to Evil Men, the best of our knowledge brings you great insight using comedy to help answer the questions you wouldn't think to ask in your lifetime. The show will cover just about any theme and digs into the world and ideas that fuel the engine with interviews, debates, and conversations each week on WBWC. The show is both entertaining and educational, and you can tune into the best of our knowledge every Sunday morning at 3:30 here on 88.3 The Sting and the TuneIn app.
You're never completely ready to adopt a teen.
For late nights writing English papers.
For your teen's music taste.
For dinners, where they talk more on their phone than with you.
For the first time, they call you Mom.
You're never completely ready to adopt a teen, and you can't imagine the reward.
To learn more about adopting a teen, visit adoptuskids.org.
Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Profile America, Saturday, January 8th. The nation's telephone service options began multiplying on this date in 1982 when AT&T bowed to a Justice Department mandate to give up its local bail system companies. The breakup became effective on January 1, 1984, the result of what has been termed the most significant antitrust suit since the breakup of Standard Oil in 1911. From the late 19th century, the virtual monopoly of what had come to be known as Ma Bell controlled America's telephone equipment and lines. Unleashed competitive forces have shaped the industry in the move to its current high-tech status. Of America's roughly 123 million housing units occupied by owners or renters, only 1.26 million, or just over 1%, have no telephone service available. You can find more facts about America from the U.S. Census Bureau online at census.gov.
Welcome back to Yellow Jacket basketball here at Earthsprung Gymnasium. Right now, your women's Yellow Jackets are winning 31-23, and for a quick halftime, BW is winning 31-23. They are winning the turnover battle 7-11, but both teams have been playing really good defense. BW is being led by Lily Edwards with 11 points, while Muskingum is being led by Kenzie Bicking with 7 points. Andrew, how about the scores across the OAC right now?
Muskingum and Muskingum and Baldwin Wallace 31-23. John Carroll and Ohio Northern. Ohio Northern leads 27-24. Marietta leads at halftime 30-18. And Mount Union and Capital, of course, the forfeit there 2-0. Mount Union count as a win so far. No update, however, on the game between Otterbein and Heidelberg. That game has no update as of right now. The scores have just changed. 32-29, Ohio Northern leads in the third. 30-18 at half. Of course, we talked about the forfeit there as we get going here with the second half of Yellow Jacket basketball.
And now BW does start the second half with the ball as Lily Edwards in the post puts up a shot. No good. Rebounded, blocked, but she still sticks with it, and that is good. That is number 35, Megan Scheibelhut, with the 2 rebounds and the eventual score for BW, making it 33-23.
Megan Scheibelhut with a good play there to extend the Jackets' lead to 10, the largest of the game.
I was going to say that's potentially the largest in the game. Now 3 taken, no good. That 3 was taken by Taylor DeMassimo. And now here's Izzy Andrews passing it to the corner. That's another 3, and that is no good. Rebounded by Megan Scheibelhut, but it tips out her fingers. Muskingum ball. And now here's Muskingum to inbound it. Here is Haley Moorhead bringing up the ball for Muskingum. Passes it over. Another pass to Kenzie Bicking. Kenzie Bicking to Smith. Casey Smith. Not a lot of movement. And now here is DeMassimo with the ball, guarded by Lily Edwards. And now passes to number 33, which is blocked by Megan Scheibelhut. Sarah Miller with a good defensive play. They actually called a foul, I see, which will put Sarah Miller at the free throw line.
Sarah Miller with a big-time foul there, and necessary, of course, to try to cut this lead down to 8. The Jackets still playing very aggressive on defense, as we said. This really has been a defensive game, especially with the low 33-24 score now as the first free throw is made.
As the first free throw is good. Both teams have not been shooting too well this game, but it's just as long as you score more points as the other team, while the second free throw does not go down for Muskingum. Now number 23, Megan Hansel, has the ball, guarded by Moorhead, passes it over to the left. That is Reagan Schill. Now to Izzy Andrews. Now back to Lily Edwards. Lily Edwards guarded by Sarah Miller. She's around the mid-range area, takes the mid-range, no good. Rebounded by Casey Smith for Muskingum. She tries to push up the temple, gives it to Taylor DeMassimo. She takes the layup, and the layup is no good. Rebounded by Lily Edwards. Lily Edwards bringing the ball up. Giro passes it out. Reagan Schill doesn't take the open 3. Now to Scheibelhut. Scheibelhut misses the easy layup, but then gets a rebound and makes it anyways.
Great play there by Megan Scheibelhut to get on the board once again with the rebound and making it again to make it an 11-point game, largest of the game for the Jackets, 35-24.
Yeah, this is where Muskingum has to be careful before this game gets out of hand. And now that's a pass into the paint. Takes the layup, but the layup hits the bottom of the backboard. Rebounded by number 23, Megan Hansel. Megan Hansel double team, passes to Lily Edwards. Lily Edwards back to Hansel, and what a pass! What a pass and what a layup! Muskingum is taking a timeout. BW is leading 37-24, and with that timeout, we're going to take one too. You're listening to Yellow Jacket Basketball here on 88.3 The Sting, WBWC.com, and the TuneIn app.
Monday nights at 10 p.m., join us for Trop Rock Music on the Radio. DK Dennis King will take you to the islands with a great mix of tropical island music from artists all over the country. Weekly call-in features and giveaways make for a fun 3 hours. Multi-nominated and winner of the 2014 Trop Rock Award for Radio Show of the Year and the Trop Rock Association Awards in Key West. Get away from it all, Mondays at 10 p.m. here on WBWC The Sting.
Welcome back to Yellow Jacket Basketball here on 80.3 The Sting, where your women's Yellow Jackets are now leading 37-24 after only leading by 8 to start the half. To end the half. To start the second half, they are now leading by 13 with by an offensive charge for BW.
It has been an incredible game to see the Yellow Jackets play here today, Matthias, and they just stormed the court. I almost said the field. They just stormed the court after that three-point play to go up by 13. As another Megan Hansel steal this has been one impressive half for her and Megan Scheibelhunt so far.
Yeah, a good defensive possession by BW. Now Lily Edwards has the ball, working in the post, puts up a layup, and it is no good, but they call a foul on Sarah Miller once again. That means that Lily Edwards will go to the line once again for BW. In the first half, she was the only BW player to go to the line, and I think that trend is continuing, at least for now. She was 3 for 6 in the first half. Let's see if she can make both of them this time.
The score will be 40-24 if she was able to make those earlier, but let's see if they can keep extending their lead.
And here's the first one is no good.
Struggles for the line continuing for Lily Edwards today.
Which is uncharacteristic of her, but her team is still winning, even though she's having a slump at the free throw line. The second one is good, 38-24, 14-point lead, which is the biggest lead of the game. Now here's Mallie Moorhead with the ball. She passes it to number 3, that is Layla Smith. Layla Smith to DeMassimo. DeMassimo to Moorhead. Moorhead to number 25. It looks like a block by Lily Edwards, but they called it a foul. That is now number 25, Bailey Bishop, going to the free throw line.
2 crucial free throws if you really think about it, as the Jackets are now up 14. You're going to really have to try to cut into this lead if you want to climb all the way back from this one. It's just getting out of hand quickly.
Yeah, these free throws may be momentum changers if you keep getting to the line. As here's the first free throw is toilet bowls in, almost rolls out, but gets the not home cooking, but that away cooking bounce. And the second free throw is good. That will make it 38-26. Now here's Carolyn Wokeley with the ball, guarded by Moorhead, letting the offense set up. Now here's Kira Philpott. Philpott back to Wokeley. Wokeley guarded by Moorhead still. Screen set by Kira. Kira passes it to Sue Soneman. Soneman in the post. Passes it, and it is caught by Kira Philpott. Philpott puts up the shot, no good, gets her own rebound, and she puts it up again, and it is good.
Talk about the ball movement on that possession. Kira Philpott, Carolyn Wokeley, and of course, there was also number 25. There's Kaylee Wessler, Sylvie Kahneman. Great ball movement by the Jackets on that play, and it ends up in 2 points. They're in the 40s now.
And now here is Casey Smith for Muskingum, puts up the layup, and that is good. Now here's Carolyn Wokeley with the ball. Looks like they're trying to push the pace a little bit. Now they wait for the offense to reset, and they call an offensive foul. I want to say moving screen on.
Goes against Carolyn Wokeley either way.
Yeah, I think they called a moving screen on Kira Philpott, which will get the ball back to Muskingum. They're down by 12, but if they make it, they will cut. If they make a shot, it will cut into this lead. At least make it at most a 9-point lead. Now here is Casey Smith, drives in, puts up the layup, no good. Doesn't get her rebound. That is number 25, Kaylee Wessler with the rebound. Pushes up the pace, passes to number 34. Now to Philpott. Philpott with the layup, and that is good. Philpott with another score for BW. Great ball movement. And now BW is up 42-28. And now Muskingum feeds it to the post. That is number 25, Bailey Bishop. Misses, and now here's BW's number 25, Kaylee Wessler with the ball. Passes it to Carolyn Wokeley. She drives in, passes it to Kira Philpott. And guess who scores again for BW? Another timeout needed for Muskingum.
And another storming of the court for the Yellow Jackets as they're up 16.
And with that timeout, we are going to take another timeout. You are listening to Yellow Jacket Basketball here on 88.3 The Sting, WBWC.com, and the TuneIn app.
Listen to every other hour to 88.3 The Sting, and you will hear our local music spotlights. We take pride in our Ohio heritage, and as home to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, we know Ohio is one of the biggest music capitals across the nation. This is why we proudly spotlight our local bands who submit music to us. Who knows? They could be the next Wellesley Arms, and if that's the case, you can hear them first here on 88.3 The Sting.
Welcome back to Yellow Jacket Basketball here on 88.3 The Sting. I'm Matthias Andujar along with Andrew Hody, and this has just been an offensive explosion this third quarter by BW. They are now leading 44-28. and it looks like their offense has finally figured out how to score against these Muskies.
Absolutely. Their offense has really been the star of the show in this third quarter. We talked about how well their defense has played. The offense definitely exploding out of control, and Muskingum is going to have to try to rally now if they're going to be able to stop the Jackets. We know how the Jackets are capable of ending these games quickly, and it looks like the Jackets are about to put this one away with a few more shots.
Yeah, 16-point lead, the biggest lead of the game. Now here is Moorhead with the ball, passes it to Miller. Miller drives in, and it is blocked by Kira Philpott, who has had an amazing third quarter so far. And now here is Carolyn Wilkley with the ball again. Passes it to Sylvie Sonneman. Sylvie Sonneman goes to the post, puts up a layup, no good. Miller with the rebound, passes it over to Kenzie Bicking. Bicking with the ball, tries to throw a pass, but it was tipped and she got it back. Now here's Hallie Moorhead with the ball. Gets past her defender, puts up the layup, and it is no good. Rebounded by number 2, that is Emily Lyon, who she brings the ball up, passes it to Sylvie Sonneman. Sylvie Sonneman gets it stolen, but they call a reach-in foul on number 2, Kenzie Bicking, which will stay BW ball.
And we're listening to Yellow Jacket basketball on 88.3 FM, WBWC Berea. Kira Philpott with a big-time play there, as we mentioned a few plays ago. What do you know? The Yellow Jackets are now back in business on defense again. Although they weren't able to turn it into points, that's something key to highlight.
And now they still have the ball from it. Emily Irwin passes it in, and they call a foul? They call a foul on Leah Smith for Muskingum. So BW gets it inbounded again. We saw a lot of fouls earlier in the first half, and now we're seeing more in the second half. Both teams are playing very physical. Irwin to pass the ball in again. Passes it to number 35. That is Scheibel Hutt. Scheibel Hutt to Emily Irwin. Emily Irwin drives in, pump fake, and they call it a travel.
Interesting travel call there on behalf of the Jackets.
Yeah, it looked like that she was trying to go for a pivot, but she just slipped a bit too much. Might need to get that spot cleaned up. And now here is Muskingum with the ball. Moorhead, guarded by number 10, Reagan Schill. Passes it to Taylor DeMassimo. DeMassimo to Sarah Miller. Sarah Miller puts up the layup, no good. Rebounded by Lily Edwards. Lily Edwards pushing up the tempo. Passes it to Scheibel Hutt, but that is stolen by Casey Smith. And now here is DeMassimo with the ball. Trying to set up their offense, guarded by Emily Irwin. Now it tries to pass it into the post, almost stolen. Now here's Sarah Miller, who is trying to decide what to do with the ball. Now that is passed to Bailey Bishop. Bailey Bishop back to Miller, and it is almost a steal. Lily Edwards and Megan Scheibel Hutt just kind of tipped it off each other, and then the ball just went out of bounds. Now here is Muskingum once again to inbound the ball. And passes it into Casey Smith. Casey Smith goes up for the layup, and no good. Tips it and is rebounded by Emily Irwin. She goes in, takes it back out, and passes it to the left side and shoots, no good. Rebounded by Muskingum, and now here's Haley Moorhead with the ball.
See a lot of sense of urgency here for both sides of the team. It looks like the Jackets are just going too quickly with the motions, trying to put it away, and Muskingum trying to get back into it.
Casey Smith with the $1 million move with the $10 shot, but then they call a foul on Muskingum, I believe.
It is on Muskingum. That goes against Casey Smith on Lily Edwards.
But that has happened a lot today, where the offensive player would get by their defender, and then when it comes to putting up the shot, they would just have either too much or too little on it. Now here is Emily Irwin with the ball, bringing up the ball for BW, enjoying a 44-28 lead. Passes it to Lily Edwards in the post, and they call another foul on Muskingum. They say it's on number 22, Taylor DeMassimo. And now Megan Hansel is going to the line because BW is already in the bonus with 2 minutes and 57 seconds left.
And the Jackets, that's in the perfect position they want to be in as Megan Hansel heads to the line. really just need a few more of those extra points to try to put this one away if you're the Yellow Jackets right now. As the first free throw's a miss.
Yeah, unfortunately that free throw did not go in, but like you said, this is a time where BW can pile up that lead as the second free throw is good. 50% for Megan Hansel. Now here is Muskingum, down 45-28. Moorhead with the ball. Passes it over to Leah Smith. Leah Smith passes it to the corner. Now that is Bailey Bishop, guarded by Lily Edwards. Passes it to number 3, Leah Smith, and they call a travel.
A lot of travel calls in this game against Muskingum today, and BW had a few earlier in the game. But that sense of urgency, they're really starting to feel it now as this one keeps slowly drifting away from them with 2:41 to go in the third quarter.
Yeah, both of these teams have been trying to trying to push the pace, but it looks like when they do push the pace, they lose the ball. They just need to go back to their element and play their game. And now here is BW with the ball. Great crossover. Passes it to Lily Edwards. Open shot, and that is no good. Almost one for the highlight reel. And now here is Muskingum with the ball. 25 takes a shot, and that is good. Bailey Bishop with the three-point shot to make it 31-45 with 2 minutes and 6 seconds left in the third quarter.
Cutting the score down to 14. Big-time play needed there. Bailey Bishop makes it at the forward position. Great job there for Muskingum to try to cut into this deficit with 1:54 to go in the third quarter.
Now here's Megan Hansel with the ball. Pass it to Lily Edwards. Lily Edwards guarded by Sarah Miller. Lily Edwards drives in, kicks it out to the corner. A little bit too high for Reagan Schill. Would have been an open three. Good decision, but a little bit too much on the execution.
Lily Edwards, while maybe is not having her best typical day, is still leading the Jackets in scoring.
Yeah, and Lily Edwards is one of those players that one of her quote-unquote not having a good day is having 11 points in the first half. And now here is Muskingum with the ball. Sarah Miller puts up the shot. No good. Good defense by Lily Edwards. Now here is Casey Ressler with the ball. Passes it to number 23. That three is no good. Rebounded by Lily Edwards. Lily Edwards passes it to Ressler. Ressler gets a layup to go in. 47-31.
Ressler with a great play there. Lily Edwards helping with the assist. Beautiful play there for the Jackets to extend this lead. 16 points yet again.
And that layup is no good for Muskingum. That has pretty much been the story of the game. Both teams have been doing good plays, but just one of them has been making it while the other one has not been making it. Now here,
under 1 minute to go in the third quarter. Matthias down to the wire.
And now here's Muskingum. Another layup to go in. Kenzie Bicking making it 47-33. 14-point lead for your Yellow Jackets.
Muskingum maybe let it go out of hand a little bit, but they are not going down quietly. The Jackets up 14. Excuse me.
And now here is Lily Edwards in the post. Puts up the shot. No good, but another foul. Lily Edwards, like you said, she has not had her best day, but she has still been able to get to the free throw line and work from there.
And she's heading back to the line as the Jackets are still in the bonus. Of course, Muskingum is not in the bonus yet, which could be another advantage the Jackets have. The fact that the Jackets already are in the bonus is going to give them an edge going into the fourth quarter.
Yeah, BW has been in the bonus since 2 minutes and 57 seconds left of the third quarter. Now there's only 31 seconds left, and they're still in the bonus, and they have been getting points off of that. And now here is the first free throw for Lily Edwards. It's up, and it's good. As said earlier in the game, Lily Edwards is typically a 80% free throw shooter, but today has not been her best day at the line. She's been hovering around that 50% as her second free throw is no good. A one make and one miss, which, guess what, is another 50%. And now here's Muskingum with the ball. Trying to wait for the play to develop. Here is Haley Moorhead.
15 points, still big, hefty lead for the Jackets as the clock ticks down. 13 seconds to go.
And now with 10 seconds left, here's Casey Smith with the ball, trying to make a play. 7 seconds left. Ball still hasn't been moved a lot. Passes it over to Kenzie Bicking. 2 seconds left. Puts up the three, and it is no good with the buzzer going off. At the end of the third quarter, it is your BW Yellow Jackets 48 and the Muskingum Muskies 33. We'll be right back. You are listening to Yellow Jacket Basketball here on 88.3 The Sting, WBWC.com, and the TuneIn app.
For over 25 years, WAMC's Joe Donahue has been bringing you interviews with authors spanning from Maya Angelou to Stephen King to David Sedaris on WBWC. Tune into The Book Show, where you can listen to how the authors became inspired, what else they do in their lives, and what they may be working on now. You don't have to be a bookworm to tune into The Book Show every Sunday morning at 3 a.m. right here on 88.3 The Sting.
It's all about the 1990s and 2000s on Millennium Mayhem every Thursday night from 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. Join yours truly, Andrew Hody, for some of the best music from 1990 to 2009, spanning all genres from rock, pop, hip-hop, and so much more. The Mayhem also has a different theme each week, so the variety never ends. Make sure to tune in to Millennium Mayhem every Thursday night from 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. on 88.3 FM The Sting, WBWC.com, and WBWC on the TuneIn app.
Welcome back to Yellow Jacket Basketball here on 88.3 The Sting, WBWC.com, and the TuneIn app. My name is Matthias Andujar along with Andrew Hody, and we have a 48-33 BW lead starting the fourth quarter.
Yeah, 15-point lead for the Yellow Jackets in this one as the clock continues to tick down in the fourth quarter. As it gets going here, and Muskingum starting off with the basketball here, they're going to need to try to do anything they can with that sense of urgency they just had. And if they lose the basketball, as I said that.
Yeah, unfortunately, every time they've been playing with a sense of urgency, they turn the ball over. And now BW takes up the layup, and it is good, but the refs are waving off the shot. They're saying it's a foul on the floor, and which means that BW will still have the possession of the ball, but just no basket. Still 48-33 with a fresh fourth quarter, 9 minutes and 33 seconds left.
So they wave off the basket there. They'll still inbound it, but the foul is called. They'll still benefit the Jackets as they'll keep the possession.
And now here is Sylvie Sonneman, passes it to a lot of passing for VW. Open three in the corner, no good. Rebounded by Kira Philpott. Kira Philpott puts up the layup, but it was blocked by number 3. That is Leah Smith for Muskingum. Muskingum slows the ball down, passes it over to Leah Smith. Now to Kenzie Bicking. Kenzie Bicking gets a screen by Leah Smith. Now here's Moorhead with the ball, passes it over to Casey Smith. Great Euro step, and the shot goes down. 48-35, 13-point lead. And now here's Izzy Andrews bringing the ball up. She drives in, puts up the layup, no good. Almost rebounded by Kira Philpott, but they call an offensive over-the-back foul. And now Muskingum has the ball again.
Looks like another timeout might have been called. I'm not sure.
No, they were just doing substitution.
And substitutions, yes, they were made. I wasn't sure.
Yeah,
so
now
with the refs blowing the whistles.
And now here is Muskingum with the ball again. That is number 3, Leah Smith with the ball, puts up the layup, no good. And now here is BW Yellow Jackets. Sylvie Sonneman has the ball in the corner, passes it out. That is number 2, Emily Lyon with the ball. Passes it into the paint, and that is good by Megan Scheibelhut, another inside basket for BW. And now here is Muskingum with the ball. Moorhead with the ball, trying to dribble past Lyon. And now here is Bicking with the ball, guarded by Izzy Andrews. Now passes it back out to Leah Smith. Now back to Bicking. Bicking drives in, kicks it out to Moorhead. Moorhead guarded by Lyon. Good defense by BW, puts up the shot, and that is good. What a corkscrew layup. Had 2 defenders on her, and she still managed to make it in. That's a 50-37. That is a 50-37 score right now in BW's favor.
The Jackets now trying to really wind this clock down at the same time. They want to score points as Muskingum's cut this down from 15 to 13 quite quickly.
And now that was a foul, and BW is going back to the line. They haven't been going to the line as much as Muskingum, but now they're making it up when they need it most. This is Casey Ressler at the line. And now here is the first free throw for Ressler. And that is good.
Important throws for Kaylee Ressler to make these and keep the Jackets extending their lead. They're going to go back to 15 if this is the make.
And and that is good for the usual 88% free throw shooter for VW. Now here is Muskingum with the ball. They are down 52-37. If you want to make a push, you got to make it now. Here's Haley Moorhead with the ball. Screened by Sarah Miller, but still being guarded by Reagan Schill. Miller passes it out to Bicking. Bicking passes it back to Miller. Miller to Smith. Smith drives in, puts up the layup, and that is no good because they call a charge. That is the third time Casey Smith has been called with a charge. Emily Irwin has just been known to where to stand, where to wait, and stand strong, and just take the punishment where you have to take it for a charge, and make these turnovers happen. I think the refs are trying to decide if it actually was a charge or a blocking foul, and they called a blocking foul. So never mind on what I said. And now it's Muskingum's ball.
I'll tell you one thing, though. Earlier in this game, while it is starting to wind down here, with the number of players on Muskingum's roster today, they have helped really try to put this Jackets team away earlier in the game. They really cut their scoring down. You know, the Jackets are a hard team to stop. To hold them to 8 points in the first half, which could have been as low as 5. The Jackets did not play particularly well in the first half. And now that it's kind of going out of control, you may question, Muskingum's lineup maybe had something to do with it. The first half of this game told a totally different story. It probably would have been a lot closer if they would have kept it up, but the Jackets' offensive explosion couldn't be stopped, and we all know what happens when that gets going.
And the first free throw was in, but the second one was out, but they called an infraction on BW, so they get another free throw. And Casey Smith with the third free throw at this point is no good. Scheibelhut with the rebound, passes it to Emily Irwin, now to Reagan Schill. Reagan Schill to the corner. That's a three, and that is no good. That was Sylvie Sonneman shooting the three. And now here is Muskingum with the ball. Casey Smith passes it to DeMassimo. DeMassimo to Moorhead. Back to DeMassimo. Now to the right side. Now back to Moorhead. Moorhead trying to drive in, kicks it back out, shoots, and the three is shot. No good. That miss was by Bailey Bishop, and now here's BW with the ball once again. Emily Irwin with the ball. Now passes it to Scheibelhut. Now back to Irwin. And now back to Scheibelhut. Scheibelhut dribbles it out a bit, and now Emily Irwin has the ball. She drives in, puts up the left-handed layup, and that is good. She jumped up, stayed in the air for a while, and went up really acrobatically with her left hand to make sure that shot went in. And now the score is 54-38, your BW Yellow Jackets. Now here's Muskingum. Casey Smith with the ball, guarded by Sylvie Sonneman. Casey Smith drives past Sonneman, tries to take a shot, but is blocked by Megan Scheibelhut. And now here is Emily Irwin driving in, passes it out. Sonneman at the three-point line. Now here's Emily Irwin. Scheibelhut still at the three-point line, is no good. Now it is Haley Moorhead. And Muskingum calls another full timeout where they really need it. They are down 54-38, and they need to make a push, and they need to do it now. And with that, we are going to take a short break. Your score is 54-38. You're listening to Yellow Jacket Basketball here on 88.3 The Sting, WBWC.com, and the TuneIn app.
Is there something you want to promote on 88.3 The Sting? Contact our business director at business@wbwc.com or call our offices at 440-826-2145. And we can discuss underwriting opportunities, on-air mentions, or even advertising online. From underwriting athletic events to live reads, the opportunities are endless with us, and we want to help you get your name on the air. Once again, the phone number is 440-826-2145, or send us an email at business@wbwc.com.
Welcome back to Yellow Jacket Basketball here on 88.3 The Sting, WBWC.com, and the TuneIn app. My name is Matthias Andujar, along with Andrew Hody, and we have a game for you. BW is leading 54-38 against Muskingum, as Haley Moorhead just tried to do a crossover, but it looked like a clear push-off, and you're not allowed to push off a defender like that.
No, you're not, and that's going to go against the Yellow Jackets on that play, but they're going to be able to inbound this one as things get going.
And now here is Izzy Andrews dribbling the ball out. 5 minutes and 38 seconds left. BW is up. Now here is Kaylee Ressler, passes it to Andrews. Andrews gets a screen by Edwards, gets a wide open layup, and that is no good. But now here's Casey Smith bringing the ball up, almost turns it over. And now she passes it to Leah Smith. Leah Smith passes it to Taylor DeMassimo. DeMassimo passes it to the corner. That is Casey Smith. Back to DeMassimo. She shoots another three. That is no good. Rebounded by Lily Edwards. Lily Edwards passes it to Karen Wokeley. Wokeley passes it to the corner. Back to Wokeley. Wokeley to Lily Edwards. Now to the other corner. And Izzy Andrews drives in, passes it back out. Now back to Wokeley. Great ball movement by BW. And now great pass by Wokeley, and that is no good. Rebounded, and she puts up another shot. That is good. That is Megan Hansel with a great extra effort. She made a great cut to get open, and then even when she missed the shot, she got a rebound and put it in.
56-38, Megan Hansel having a big-time second half, putting it in the basket. And the Jackets now leading by 18 points as we're under 5 to play.
And another three is taken and is missed by Taylor DeMassimo. And now here is BW bringing the ball up, passes it to the right corner, and Megan Hansel once again with the easy bucket. And that is another timeout called by Muskingum. They're trying to figure out what to do right now to put points on the board. And with that, we're going to take another break. You are listening to Yellow Jacket Basketball on 88.3 The Sting, WBWC.com, and the TuneIn app.
For 30 years, the Bop Stop has served as Northeast Ohio's home for live performances of some of the best in jazz. Hi, I'm Bop Stop Director Gabe Pollock. Join me weekly as we tap into this rich history and bring you some of the best live performances by local and national artists that have graced our stage. Tune in for Live at the Bop Stop every Saturday night at 10 on 88.3 FM The Sting, WBWC.com, and the TuneIn app.
And Live at the Bop Stop re-airs Sunday afternoons at 12 noon. Now back to Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jackets basketball action.
Okay.
All right. We're good. Go.
Nope. Yeah. Welcome back to Yellow Jacket Basketball here on 88.3 The Sting, WBWC.com, and the TuneIn app. My name is Matthias Andujar along with Andrew Hody. And the score of this BW women's basketball game is your BW Yellow Jackets 38, the Muskingum Muskies 38, and the Yellow Jackets 58 with 4 minutes and 3 seconds left of the game. And now here is Muskingum with the ball. That's DeMassimo being guarded really heavily. Now passes it over to Casey Smith. Casey Smith passes it to number 3. She shoots the mid-range, and that is no good. That was Leah Smith with the shot. And that was rebounded by Megan Hansel. Megan Hansel looking to find somewhere to pass it to. Passes it to Kaylee Ressler. Kaylee Ressler passes it to Izzy Andrews. Now here's Hansel for 3. No good. Rebounded by Lily Andrews, but they call a over-the-back foul on her. Lily Edwards.
That's an interesting foul there. I didn't expect that from the officials, but it must have been a charge or something that we don't see typically too often. But other than that, still a 20-point game. Jack's almost at 60 points, but it looks like they're doing anything they can right now, and they're likely going to put the Muskies away here with under 4 to play.
Yeah, unless nothing short of a miracle happens, this is going to be a BW blowout win, as that is a missed shot. Carolyn Wokeley with the ball, with the rebound, dribbles it up, passes it to Lily Edwards. Lily Edwards, they are just wasting the clock as Lily Edwards drives in, passes it to the right hash, and it is stolen. No, they call it a jump ball. Great effort by Leah Smith to at least make an effort of not only a jump ball or maybe a steal.
That was an impressive play there on defense, especially by the Muskies. Defensive play they desperately need now with under 3 to play at 2:51. The Jackets now have a chance to go up 22 or more potentially.
And now here is VW inbounding in. That's Carolyn Locally with the ball now. Passes it to Kaylee Wrestler. Kaylee Wrestler to number 12. That is Bella Valiant. Valiant to Locally. Locally to Emily Irwin. Irwin for 3. No good. And rebounded by Taylor DeMassimo, who gives it to Leah Smith. Leah Smith to Casey Smith. And that is no good. That is another turnover for Muskingum.
Looks like they're calling kickball, too. Either way, it's a turnover.
Yeah. I think kickball is only on defense.
I don't know. He moved his foot out of the way. I couldn't tell if he was what the official was doing there because he put his foot in the air as though it was a kickball at the same time. But, yes, I agree with you. Usually that's only on the defensive side.
Yeah, the officiating has been a bit weird this game, but if you're a Yellow Jacket fan, you'll take it with the score. That is a 3-shot, no good, rebounded, and that's no good, but they call a foul there. That was Kayla Paul getting the rebound to put up the shot, and now she's going to the free throw line for her first time in the game.
Well, if you're Muskingum, you have no more timeouts, so really fouling is going to be the only way you could get back into this game. And the other thing is, with a 20-point deficit, how sure are you that you foul the right players on the Jackets each time? And, of course, the more and more they make the shots, the more and more they could increase their lead.
Yeah, I think at this point it's just not of trying to come back, but it's just trying to keep playing hard as you should. Unless some of these Muskingum players start making their shots and these three start raining down for them, it's not going to be, once again, it's going to be nothing short of a miracle for them to come back, as both free throws are missed and the rebound is tipped out of bounds, and it is Muskingum ball. Now with 2 minutes and 11 seconds left, Muskingum down by 20. Here's Leah Smith bringing the ball up. Smith guarded by Paul. Leah Smith tries getting past Paul and passes it to Casey Smith. Casey Smith drives right, passes left, gives it to Sarah Miller. Sarah Miller no good, rebounded by Kayla Paul. And now here is Irwin, quick pass up to Alex Johnson. Johnson with the ball, passes it over to number 14, that is Paul. Now back to Emily Irwin. Irwin to Kayla Paul. Kayla Paul working in the post, and that is good. Great post move by Kayla Paul.
Kayla Paul with a big play there, 60-38. We're now under 90 seconds to play. And it looks like the Yellow Jackets are about to punch their ticket to 6-0 in the conference and 9-2 overall.
Yeah, which is obviously a great record to have, but going on to talking about the OEC, which is a tough conference, all these games are important, so this win for the Yellow Jackets is important, even if it is against an opponent like Muskingum. That shot taken up, no good, rebounded by Alex Johnson. Alex Johnson gives it to Emily Irwin. Irwin to the corner. And
the travel is called against the Jackets, so it'll go back to the Muskies. 53 seconds exactly on the clock, 60-38.
Yeah, not much time left in the game. They say it's the Yellow Jackets ball, even though I saw them do a traveling signal. And now here is Paul with the ball. Kayla Paul drives in, kicks it out to number 42. That is Emma Nix. Emma Nix to number 12. That was Bella Valiant trying to pass to her teammate Kayla Paul, but they just weren't on the same page and the ball went out of bounds. Now here is Muskingum with the ball with 34 seconds left. Leah Smith bringing the ball up. Passes it to Taylor DeMassimo. DeMassimo still with the ball. Passes it to the corner. That is Leah Smith. Leah Smith to Casey Smith. And now with 12 seconds left on the shot clock, 14 seconds left on the game clock, there was a layup attempt, but it was blocked, and they call a foul. Now with 12 seconds left in the game, Casey Smith is at the line while being down 60-38. I don't know at this point if 40-60 is more respectable than 38-60, but might as well get those points, as the first free throw is no good, so never mind on that even.
Well, 39-60 could be more respectable than 38-60.
Yeah, every point counts. And now here's the second free throw. That is no good. Rebounded by Kayla Paul, and it looks like they're about to just run this clock out. No, they actually shoot it, and that is no good. And with that Sarah Miller rebound, that is going to end the game. Your final score is your BW Yellow Jackets 60, the Muskingum Muskies 38. Thank you for listening to Yellow Jacket basketball. Stay tuned for post game, and stay tuned for the men's basketball game, which will take place right after this. You're listening to Yellow Jacket basketball here on 88.3 The Sting, WBWC.com, and the TuneIn app.